top 10 richest women in the world in 2023. Everybody wants to be rich, and as much as the list is mostly made up of men, there are women as well. In fact, several women are worth billions. Some of them have made it to the list in various ways. Some have made it from inheritance, while others have built something for themselves. Some have done both. So, who are the top 10 richest women in the world in 2023? And what do they do? Without further ado, let's find out. Number 10. Iris Fontbona, $22.7 billion. Andronico Luksic built a fortune in mining and beverages for quite some time. But upon his death in 2005, his Chilean native wife, Iris Fontbona, inherited all his businesses. Now, the 81-year-old and her 3 kids are the brains behind Antofagasta plc. This company is worth quite a lot, even trading on the London Stock Exchange. The company also has dealings in copper mines in Chile, her native country. Fontbona and her kids are also the owners of a majority stake in Quinenco, a publicly traded Chilean conglomerate that is very active in banking, beer, and manufacturing. With these businesses, Iris has gone on to rack up a net worth of about $22.7 billion, which is pretty impressive. Number 9. Suzanne Clatton, $25.3 billion. BMW is quite the company, producing cars that are just amazing. But behind it is Suzanne Clatton, who owns about 19% of the German automaker. Her late mother, Johanna, was the 3rd wife of legendary industrialist Herbert Quandt, who led BMW to glory. However, her net worth doesn't only come from this. She didn't stop there and decided to go a bit extra, building a chemical company, Altana. She is also this company's deputy chair, earning her quite a paycheck. She also knows a bit about investing as she has stakes in multiple businesses such as Entrust. Now, that is the strength of a woman. She has truly built her own wealth, amassing it to over $25.3 billion. Number 8. Gina Rinehart, $27.2 billion. Gina may be in 54th place on the Forbes list of the richest people. In Australia, she is the richest, and in the world is the 8th richest woman. She is the daughter of iron ore explorer Lang Hancock, the late founder of Hancock Prospecting. According to Forbes, she rebuilt her late father's financially distressed company before becoming the executive chairwoman in 1992. She had done a great job, managing to pay off the $7.2 billion debt that was taken for this project. And now, Rinehart is a legend in Australia, leaving a mark and showing that women can leave a company to prosperity. Number 7. Rafaela Aponte Diamant, $28.9 billion. Some of you may be hearing her name for the first time. But wait till you learn who she is. Well, she is the wife and lifelong partner of Gianluigi, and together they have built the world's largest shipping line. Yes, these two are the brains and beauty behind MSC. The two met in Capri for the first time in the 70s, and shortly after, they embarked on the shipping industry. Today, the company is valued at over $100 billion, and Rafaela and her husband each have a 50% stake in it. But that's not all. All Rafaela has to do is deal with the decor of the ships for MSC Cruises, while her husband deals with everything else as the executive chairman. If that is not true couple goals, then I don't know what is. Number 6. Mackenzie Scott, $34.7 billion. Though some things may be unfortunate, they sometimes work in our favor. Take the case of Mackenzie Scott. One can say that it was her divorce that placed her on the list of the top 10 richest women in the world. And by this, we mean her divorce from Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Even though the two had been married for 25 years, which is not easy, they eventually divorced in 2019. At the time of the divorce, she received a 4% stake in the online retailer, and we all know how big Amazon had already become at the time. However, in May 2019, she shared that she had signed the Giving Pledge, promising to give away at least half of her wealth over the course of her lifetime. She has been working on this, giving away about $14.4 billion since 2020 to about 1,600 nonprofits. That's how you know she earned a lot, because even after all that, she still has a net worth of about $34.7 billion. That's insane. Number 5. Miriam Adelson, $35.5 billion. Before she became known as one of the richest women in the world, Miriam Adelson was, and still is, an Israeli-American physician and the current publisher of the newspaper Israel Hayom. But how does a physician specializing in addiction become number 5 among the richest women in the world? Well, all that is because of her husband. Her husband, Sheldon Adelson, was a casino tycoon who ended up building a legacy. He was the founder of the gambling empire Las Vegas Sands. And if you are wondering what company this is the company that owns properties like the Venetian, Sands, and the Londoner in Macau, and the famous Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. That is just to name a few. So when the tycoon passed away in 2021, his wife inherited more than half of the empire. And just like that, her net worth skyrocketed, putting her in the spotlight. She may be the 37th richest person in the world with a net worth of $35.5 billion, but she is number 5 on the Forbes list of the richest women in the world. Number 4. Jacqueline Mars, $39.3 billion. Everybody loves M&Ms, Skittles, and Snickers. And while you enjoy eating and chewing on them, Jacqueline Mars has gotten her sweet life from them. All this is thanks to her grandfather, who founded the world's largest candy maker, Mars. It seems to be a family business because, from 1982 to 2001, she worked for the company as Food Product Group President. Later, she and her brother each got an estimated third of Mars, while her late brother Forrest Jr.'s 4 daughters own the remaining third. She has also served on the board up until 2016, and we can tell that they have made our lives a bit sweeter. Besides this, Mars is also an investor and serves on the board of the National Archives. And before that, she was a former Washington National Opera Board member. Jacqueline has risen to the top thanks to the company, which has made our lives sweeter and more colorful. Number 3. Julia Koch, $56.7 billion. Nothing is certain in this world. We never know what will happen later. And who better to tell you this than Julia Koch herself? Having been born and raised in Iowa, Koch moved to New York City in the 1980s. When she got here, she got a job as an assistant to fashion designer Adolfo, where she got the chance to work with some high-profile clients like the First Lady, Nancy Reagan. While in New York, she went on a blind date in 1991, where she ended up meeting David. And after that, the two never saw each other again. 6 months later, the two bumped into each other and began dating. And in 1996, they got married. David went on to build an empire, Koch Industries, where he was the executive and co-owner. Koch Industries ended up becoming one of the largest closely held companies in the U.S. by revenue. And when David died in August 2019, Julia inherited a 42% stake in the company. And shortly after inheriting all this fortune, she was included on Forbes' list of the 10 richest women in the world in 2020. She has gone on to become a well-known socialite as well as a philanthropist. Imagine appearing in the spotlight because of your partner. Number 2. Alice Walton, $62.6 billion. Everyone knows about Walmart. It is the largest multinational retail corporation founded in America, with a chain of hypermarkets, discount department stores, and grocery stores in the U.S. It therefore goes without saying that when the founder, Sam Walton, died, the company would be owned by his only daughter, Alice Walton. And even though this put her in the spotlight, she never really worked in the family business at first. In fact, her first job was as an equity analyst for First Commerce Group. However, as much as she inherited a large portion of the multinational retail store, she has built something else herself. If you ask around the family's home state of Arkansas, you will learn that she has made a name for herself by opening the Crystal Bridges, Museum of American Art in their hometown of Bentonville. She has ensured that the museum has works from some of the best artists, such as Andy Warhol, Norman Rockwell, and Mark Rothko. From owning an empire like Walmart and an art museum, has given Alice a total net worth of $62.6 billion, making her the second richest woman in the world. Number 1. François Bettencourt Myers, $88.5 billion. The second richest man is from France, and so is the richest woman in the world. Françoise is a French businesswoman who has reached the top of the list. The L'Oreal hair has managed to keep this title for 3 years now, and all this is thanks to her position at L'Oreal. She is currently the vice chairwoman of the board of directors at L'Oreal, having served on the board since 1997. This is after she became France's reigning L'Oreal heiress in 2017 after her mother, Liliane Bettencourt, passed away at 94. Together with her family, they own around 33% of L'Oreal stock. With all this money and a net worth of about $88.5 billion, she definitely lives the life. But as much as we all know about Françoise now, her close circle has claimed that she has always hated being in the spotlight. People say she is quite introverted and avoids media appearances as much as possible. But now it's harder to do that when you are the richest woman in the world. As we wrap up, we leave you with one thought-provoking question to ponder. If you suddenly found yourself in their shoes with billions to your name, what kind of legacy would you want to create with your wealth? How would you balance personal interests, philanthropy, and social responsibility? Comment down below. That's it. Leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Goodbye.